Hello and welcome to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. The government shutdown continues with lawmakers still at odds and how to reopen the government. On Thursday, Senate Democrats blocked a GOP-led bill to pay workers deemed essential during the shutdown. Democrats have said that they want to pass a bill that pays all federal workers, but Republicans have rejected their alternatives.
I have zero interest in finding a bipartisan path forward to enact a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people.
They refuse to admit that this entire shutdown is one big political game to satisfy the radical Marxist base of their party.
Joining us is Maryland Congressman Glenn Ivey. Congressman, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Thanks for having me.
We're always glad to have you. Republican leadership says it is your party that is holding the government hostage. Your response?
I mean, I wish the House Republicans would at least come back to town, because it makes it easier to negotiate a solution if you're in the same city. But they passed this bill that they knew was going to be DOA as soon as it got to the Senate. They immediately left town. That was September 19th. That's over a month ago, and they've been gone ever since. So, if they're really serious about getting something done, let's, get out, come out of the caves or the vacation or the golf courses or wherever they are. Come back to D.C., come back to Capitol Hill and do your job.
Obviously, it's a political tug of war, Congressman. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of American workers who are impacted by this. Many wonder how this can even happen with so much at stake.
I think that's a great question. I mean, the Republicans knew this was coming since January 20th when they first came in. So the $1 trillion in cuts they made to Medicaid took place back in the so-called Big Ugly Bill. That was about, 4 or 5 months ago. And we told them at the time that that was going to create a huge problem. Hospitals would close, clinics would close, and the like, because you're cutting off the revenue that keeps them open. But they went forward with it anyway and voted down our amendments to try and fix it. Then they followed that up with the bill that, cut off the tax credits for ACA coverage, the Affordable Care Act tax credits. And what that means is that people are going to see their premiums double and triple or even more. In fact, they're starting to see it already. So that will make it unaffordable for many Americans. We're concerned about 15 million Americans losing their health care. And we offered amendments to try and fix that, too. They voted those all down by party line votes, Republicans only. So here we are. And we told them this was coming. They knew it was coming for months. But instead of being here to fix it, like I said, they've been gone since September 19th. And the House of Representatives has only met for 12 days since July 25th. Instead of being here doing the work, they've been off doing other things. The Senate, by contrast, the Senate Republicans and Democrats, they haven't worked it out yet, but at least they're here trying. And at the end of the day, even if they reach an agreement in the Senate, we can't move forward until the House Republicans get back. Come back to town, do your job, let's get this done.
You're talking about keeping those premiums down. Obviously, that's very important, especially if you're the one that's getting the bill in the mail. But how do you find common ground on an issue versus a number?
Well, this is just extending the tax credits. So these have been in place for the past 4 years already. So there's no big unknown, there's no big uncertainty, there's no tricks or something that they couldn't figure out relatively easily. And by the way, remember that the tax credits that were in the same legislation for wealthy people, they had no problem extending that permanently. But that was part of the bill where they refused to extend the ACA tax credits for regular Americans. So if you can do it for the wealthy folks, do it for the working class people too.
Congressman, quickly, how can you avoid a future shutdown? A lot of Americans say, well, members of Congress shouldn't get paid if there is a shutdown, but correct me if I'm wrong, I know you're a constitutional expert, but it's in the Constitution that Congress members get paid even if there is a disruption in government. And one thing we know about members of Congress, unlike everyday voters, is members of Congress would never vote against their own interest for a constitutional amendment. Your thoughts?
Well, you know, I'm not accepting my pay in solidarity with our federal workers who are not getting paid either. But my view is that all of them should get paid, especially the ones who are being compelled to come in and work but not get paid. I think that's unfair. I think the only federal workers who should not get paid right now are the House Republicans. They've refused to come to work. They've refused to do their job. They're not even, you know, coming back to town so we could begin getting to work. They shouldn't get paid. Other federal workers should.
Congressman Glenn Ivey, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you.